Today, we've got a very special guest. He's got an intriguing background as well. He came up in the music industry and he became a top producer working with some of the biggest names in the business. He even went on to make national commercials. Seems like he's done so much, and he's also been in real estate for more than a quarter of a century, easing into it in 1999. Today's guest is my good friend, my man, Mr. Mack Loving. Mac,
What's
what's up,
going
man?
on? What's going on, Big Sonny? How you feel, baby?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good,
So
good.
I'm loving having you, and it's not just a
Appreciate
play
you.
on your name. I really have been looking forward to this, and
Yeah.
many other people in this group have been telling me that they've been looking forward to this, asking you questions. Before
Okay.
we even get to the topic today, which is how to buy and sell money, that by itself is intriguing. How did your experience in the music business help shape your understanding of people and also how to make deals? And then how did that transition into you doing real estate?
Well, in the music business, and JJ, he knows this as well, that it's about relationships. And, you can be talented, but if you don't have the right relationships and you're not a people person, it's going to be hard to kick down some doors. So I learned very quickly how to network with people and most importantly, try to network with people that was like-minded, and just in my journey, I just always took the time to get to know people for who they are, what they really about, and see if we was a good match. And normally, when you find people that's a great match, you're able to finagle it into something big, something fun, and you're able to do deals. And of course, we all like to do what we love to do without it feel like work. So when you're working with people you like, it's fun all the time. So I realized early on that relationships were key in all business across the board. And the music industry is built on that, relationships.
Very much so, at least from what I hear, is I've not worked in the music industry. What are
hmm
some of the other parallels you've seen between music and real estate, and how did you end up deciding to be in real estate?
I mean, you got to watch your ass, because I mean, you got good people and then you got, the bad apples in the bunch. So you definitely need to develop yourself in a way where you learn as much as you can so you can protect yourself. And most importantly, you want to do good deals because when you do great deals, guess what? People talk about you. The word spreads out. And before you know it, your phone is always ringing. And that's what we all want. That's the best promotion in the world is by doing great deals and people enjoying doing deals with you because now your phone is ringing, your email is always is got a message, you're getting text messages. So, and what great feeling when your phone every time your phone rings, there's money attached to it. That's great. So, just give out the same energy you expect people to give you and make sure you stay away from the riffraff and you'll be able to figure out a way to make your name in the game. So it's about relationships, man. You gotta have relationships, no matter how great you are, how talented you are, none of that matters. At the end of the day, you can't do it by yourself. And if anybody tell you otherwise, they're idiot. They're lying. So that's the truth.
As we often talk about in this group, chasing the relationships, right? Not chasing the deal.
Absolutely.
Because if you have the right relationships, like you're saying, then you find the right deals for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And people want to see you win when they really get to know you, who you really are as a person. A lot of people carry themselves in a certain way, and my mantra is just be yourself, and people that find your tribe and that, you guys are connecting, it'd be easy. You feel like you've known people for years that you just met, and you find yourself asking yourself, like, man, do I need to slow down? Because I feel like I've known this person for 20 years, but it's that mutual connection that just make it feel so right. You guys can take over the world together like that. So relationships is key, man, in any business.
Big time.
Yeah.
How did that help you to see that you wanted to do real estate back in 99?
To be honest with you, I always looked at real estate as something that I'll get to down the line because I was at the time touring with some of the big names out there and I really loved the tour life and the party life. And but my parents, my grandparents and my parents were entrepreneurs in real estate, had properties and things of that nature. And for some reason, when I was young, I always associated, um, being someone in real estate meaning having to sit still. And maybe it was that way because, of course, it was before the internet and cell phones and stuff like that. So, in a way, it kind of was. You had to deal with wherever you live. That's what you had to deal with. Like now, it's easy to do virtual stuff all day long. So, but I just figured, hey, I make a bunch of money in music, and then I just deal with the real estate thing because it was always in me. But I like the willing and dealing. So that's when I was like, you know what? Wholesaling is something that I can will and deal and then still be back on the tour bus. And that type of, and that's how it started. So slowly but surely, I just started getting in the game that way. And as time, went on, that's when I started breaking out to other stuff.
What does that mean when you say buying and selling money? Is that the same thing as wheeling and dealing?
Yeah,
How does
willing
one start doing that?
Well, willingness dealing is like being in the action, man, negotiating and finding the deal, being out in the hustle. But buying and selling money is just like you basically finding a product that holds a certain value where it's at as is, and it also holds a value after it's been cleaned up, what I like to call after you make it Holly Berry. When you find that when you find it, it's an ugly duckling, but when you rehab it, you get it Holly Berry. So people around me knowing I use that term like, what's the price after we get a Holly Berried up or whatever. So
Halle
it's
Berry
basically
being a pretty Hollywood actress.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So and you pretty much look at it like, okay, if I buy it for 50, puts another 50 in it, and then sell it for 200, that's a bag of money you basically handing over to somebody. You see what I'm saying? So I'm buying and selling money. Okay, I got this. I bought this money at a discount, and I'm gonna sell it to you for a discount with a little bit of finder's fee on top of it so I can grease my hands. And now you can take it, put a little bit in it, and put it into the market and make some money. So it's a win-win for everybody. So it's like buying and selling money. Real estate is nothing but money, bags of money sitting on the street. So anytime you guys walk past a vacant or distressed property, you're walking, it's money literally sitting on the street. But you have to be a visionary. You got to understand what you're looking at. So think about people been walking past vacant property for years and had no idea. You've been walking past maybe 10, $15,000 that could have been in your pocket. So it's all money, at the end of the day. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, and does that usually translate to doing wholesaling, or are there other ways of doing that?
Yeah, I mean, with wholesaling is very important. I want to make that clear. To those out there that's wholesalers, I know sometimes I know sometimes you run into a situation where people like to say, and I know the gurus like to say this, and I'm not going to say any names and stuff like that, but they downplay wholesaling, you know. And I know people that wholesale that's afraid to say they're a wholesaler. But here's the reality of it. Wholesaling is the glue of all business. Everything. Anybody that's on this call right now, I want you to look at the clothes that you're wearing. Look around your house. The food that you're eating. All that was wholesale first. We are the Neos in the Matrix. So when people try to downplay you and make it seem like you beneath them because you're not licensed or something like that, don't feel that way. Everybody plays a part in this industry and we all are important. So just think about it. Wholesaling helps set it up for everybody. You helping sellers, you helping cash buyers, you helping cash buyers be able to put it back on the market and make money. They're able to provide a property, a good, clean, nice property for what? A family or somebody who needs it. So it's a win-win for everybody. So we just got to respect each other's title and our gifts and our talents of what we do and not downplay each other. Wholesaling is very important in all business across the board. So I need to make sure that's understood.
And you were telling me the other day when we were talking offline that wholesaling is a great place for anybody to start in real estate, and you gave
Absolutely.
me some good reasons. What are those reasons?
I mean, the good reasons are this, man. Wholesaling puts you in a situation where you learn to find deals. You learn to talk to sellers. You learn to be boots on the ground. You learn to door knock, cold call. You learn from cash buyers what are they looking for? How they rehabbing properties? What trends do they stick with to make the property pop? Where they can get the more bang for their buck. You're the middleman. So you're basically making money while you learn. So when you do have a nest egg big enough for you to go buy a property, guess what? You know almost every aspect of the game. Why? Because you're the one that's juggling everything. The closing attorney, the title, the seller, the buyer, other wholesalers, realtors. You're the person in the middle that's doing all the talking and willing and dealing. So it makes you a stronger investor when you step into those shoes and say, hey, I want to start buying property myself. Now, when you negotiate with sellers, you know exactly how to negotiate with sellers. Now, when you're negotiating with wholesalers, you know what to look for. Good wholesalers, good agents, bad agents. You know what the buyers are doing to save money and how they're approaching the rehabs and things of that nature. So it's a powerful position. A lot of people try to play it as a low entry, and I guess they associate that where you can get into the game with not using much money. But, to me, it teaches you a lot about the game that you just can't ignore. That's a powerful position to be in if you're someone that can embrace it, you know?
That does sound like the best place to learn because like you're saying, you're in the middle
Absolutely.
of everything. At the
Absolutely.
same time, many of us are intimidated to start because you think, oh my gosh, I'll be overwhelmed. I don't really know what to do. And then now I'm in this middleman position where I've got to deal with all these different people
Yeah.
and contracts and things. I've never done any of this before. So for a newbie, what would you say are the steps to take to start?
Partnerships, relationships. You gotta, it's okay to look at the game and say, okay, here's my point of view when it comes down to real estate, business, whatever. Entrepreneur entrepreneurs, you have to be a realist about who you are and what you want to do. And you have to be real about what you're not good at and what you're great at. You understand what I'm saying? So if you know you're not great on the phone, then you gotta think of this. Okay, I can't cold call because I have an issue with being on the phone. I'm not comfortable. So either I got the budget to hire me a VA, or how about I partner with someone who's great at being on the phone and we take down deals together. It's okay for you to find your position. You don't have to be everything in the situation. You don't have to be the only middleman. I got people that I do deals with that they're great at finding deals, but they horrible at getting it across the finish line. So our arrangement is okay, you find the deal, bring the deal to me, I'll take the second half and get it to the finish line. You see what I'm saying? So that's all they do is focus on getting the deals. Then you got other people that's horrible with finding the deals, but they great at getting it to the finish line and closing the deal. So they just focus on finding an end buyer. You see what I'm saying? You got some people that's great with talking with sellers. They handle the seller part. So figure out your niche. You don't have to do it all. Nobody is self-made. You hear anybody say they self-made, they're a liar. Nobody is self-made. Everybody needs somebody. And you're not going to be the only one making all the money. And that's something my father used to always say. Like, nobody's making all the money. You ain't finna be the king or the queen, so stop it. You're going to have to share. Everybody got to eat. Because trust me when I tell you, if you're the only one with a full belly and everybody else is starving, sooner or later they're going to come together and decide that you finna be lunch. So you gotta make sure everybody get a piece of the pie, just be fair. So that's the real deal. You're not gonna get any, fake talking with me. So I hope that helped.
That's why it's fun to talk to you, man.
Yeah,
For someone again who's just starting, they're afraid and they're taking a first step. They're trying to take a first step and they're struggling with the fear and
yeah.
they're likely to say, "Well, I don't even know what my position would be on the team. Like, should I be on the phone? Should I be behind the scenes?"
Right.
Like what are even the positions on the team that I could potentially play? Like how did they get a lay of the land and some idea of
Yeah.
how to even get a foot in the door and step into a position?
You got to tap into your strengths. If you're somebody that's great with paperwork, details, you be the person that you to be the back office. I got people that's great at doing the back office stuff for me. I'm a wheeler and dealer. I'm a visionary. I like to be in the action. I like to shake hands and kiss babies, and try to, pass my phone number to the mamas, that type of stuff. I'm just playing, y'all. But, at the end of the day, like I have an operator that she's great, Teresa. She's great at back office stuff and details and things of that nature. So she's in a position where she watch my back on the details. Sometimes talking to sellers and stuff where it'd be like, you know what, I need a woman touch to deal with this particular situation because you're a lot more laid back than me. You got to be a realist in this game and look at what you're good at and what you're not good at. Too many people are trying to force it. It ain't gonna work that way. If you're great on the phone, then you need to be on the phone. If you're great with details and paperwork, then you need to handle the paperwork. If you somebody that likes to walk properties and take pictures and do driving for dollars, that's what you need to do. Find that position. Assemble a team where everybody got a strong niche, and you guys go out and kill it. That's how you get it done. A lot of people looking at the money part of it, and it's like, well, you ain't making no money sitting still because you lack in certain areas. You need team. You need relationships. You need people to team up with to make it happen. And you guys can do so many deals where the flow get to going well. And guess what? The money is going to pour in, but you have to figure out your position. I said this before, Michael Jordan, he the greatest, right? But he didn't win the championships by himself. Somebody had to pass him the ball. Somebody had to set him up for the shot. Somebody had to set the pick. Somebody had to, so he didn't do it himself. So that's across the board how it is in any business. You need people that you can lean on to get the job done. And you have to let go. I have to learn to let go. That's what I've been working on the last 8 months is learning how to delegate and let go because I like to be a part of everything because I love the action. But why am I trying to answer emails doing the chopsticks for 2 hours when I'm supposed to be out willing and dealing and locking in deals? So you have to learn to let those things go and dwell in your strengths and not your weaknesses.
Well said.
Yeah,
And for people who are currently employees, because many of us need to make a living while we're
yeah,
exploring real estate or other things on the side, how how can they start to do both at the same time? And what are some of the challenges that come with that real estate entrepreneur lifestyle that they need to get their mindset in the right direction for versus being an employee?
yeah. I mean, they got to figure out what position they want to play. Are you really the real estate guru in the front, being seen in the light all the time, or you really the man behind the man that help makes it happen? Because, going back to the Bulls, you had guys that were second string. They got rings too. They didn't play as much as Mike. They didn't score as much as Mike, but they sure got that ring and the bonuses. You see what I'm saying? So you just got to be okay with your position. You got to say, you know what? I love my job, but I also love real estate and I want to dibble and dabble in there. Let me connect with somebody that I really mesh with well and see where I fit so I can kind of bring value and maybe make a couple of dollars here and there. You got some people, man, that don't care about being a super trillionaire, billionaire, whatever you want to call it in real estate. I've talked to people that say, "Hey, man, if I can make 5 grand every month, or every other month extra, they happy because they love their job." You know what I'm saying? So, but we all got our ways, but you have to learn how to like be honest about okay when you need some help because the ship will sink. You can't do it by yourself. Even if you're doing it by yourself, sooner or later you will burn out. That's a guaranteed thing. Anybody on here that's been doing it long enough, I'm absolutely right. You will burn out sooner or later. You just can't do it by yourself. So you have
Facts.
to connect with people and open up and talk with people. Go to events. Come to stuff like JJ's Mastermind and come in and say, "Hey y'all, I'm horrible at driving for dollars or whatever it is." Talk to people. Open up. Stop being shy. Get it out the way. Be you. Don't be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sonny, you laid back, man. You one of the most laid back cats I know. But you know what? At the end of the day, as soon as you get a moment to say it, hey guys, I need help with cold calling. Sneak it in. Get it in so people can know, hey, Sonny need help. So it's all about just putting yourself out there, man. That's what it's all about. More people put yourself out there, you will find your tribe. Trust me.
Well said. And with
Yeah,
that, we've got our first live question here. So let me bring up our guest. Mac, we've got Mr. Rob Howrigy with us.
that's my
Rob,
boy.
what's your question for Mac
Ah,
Loving?
What's up, man? I didn't hear no bell.
yo, yo, what's happening,
What's
guys?
going on, man?
Hey, Sonny, what's up?
What's up, Rob? Great to be with you again.
Hey, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Rob Howdigy, Sub 2 Gator, Southern California. And I've known these two gentlemen since I became a Gator. So it really is about relationships, it's about connections. Dude, I don't know where to begin. I mean, Sonny, dude, what an intro. Dude, way to bring in JJ's group to the spotlight. Loved it. And Mac, oh, I mean, everybody I told you, Mac was one of the first people I met when I got here. And every time I talk to him, he gives me the Mac attack. That's what I call it. And
Yeah.
he just gets me going. He gets me vibe. And so, this whole group is about relationships. It's what it boils down to, friendships. It's going to take you places that you never imagined. Like I said, I'm really trying to find my path, working on branding myself and who I am. These
Mhm.
gentlemen are my friends now. I'm proud to say it. You
Yeah.
know, uh, just a, it's just a great vibe. There's, Gator's awesome, Sub Two's awesome, but when I found JJ, it's coupled with both and then some. It's
Yeah.
more of a family vibe, straight up, and you can make whatever you want, happen here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just felt blessed. I didn't really have a question for you. I just wanted to shout out, brother. I
Yeah.
haven't talked to you in a while, so
Yeah, yeah, we talk through social media and stuff like that. Hey, but Rob, man, he's a cool guy, man. He got a hell of a story. He's a survivor. He's the real life Rocky Balboa
ah,
and the Italian
ooh,
stallion, So, we got a broship, man. So at the end of the day, I love connecting with you guys, man. And
Speaking of which,
everybody is being themselves.
I know both of you love the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Mac,
ah.
tell us what you love about those movies so much.
Who me or Rob?
You.
You know what I like about the Rocky movies is Rocky is the underdog. He's the guy who nobody thought can do it. He's the guy who had different failures at every point in every movie, but he still had that mentality to go one more round, you know? And that's life, man. A lot of people watch that movie and think it's about boxing, but for me, it was all about dealing with life outside the ring and still being able to get in the ring to perform.
Yeah,
Everybody on this Zoom got stuff going on in their life. Loss, you lose family members, friends, job, money get rough, your health bothering you, all types of stuff. But you're the one that got to wake up in the morning and say, I'm finna go one more round. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do, my father used to say, just last one moment more. That's it. So that's all we got to do is hold out long enough, just a second more, and you'll be amazed at what you can do, man. And my whole life, I've been the underdog. I've been the
See,
guy every time I'm starting a business. Oh, Mac, he always doing something. He
yeah,
always doing. Now here we are, 20 years later, and those same people are calling my phone saying, "Look, man, can I come by and talk to you and figure out what I need to do with myself?" And because I'm
yeah.
starting to see that this ain't So I've always been that guy, man. You got to fight for what you want, man. And if you get knocked down, get the hell up.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about, people? For those of you that are brand new to this call, to this group today, see, you just got Mac attack. Right up.
It's real, man. Get up. Stop whining. Frankie Fair, I did the video about Frankie Fair. It's like my mentality is Sorry, JJ, but if I say this, no, my bad. But when you see fear, you whoop his ass. Don't run from it, man, because you can't get to where you want to go being afraid. And sometimes you got to tell your brain to shut the hell up because it'll try to talk you out of what you know you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be different, more. You're not supposed to live life and go to the grave full. You're supposed to go empty. You're supposed to give back and share and talk to people and don't gatekeep. What are you gatekeeping for? So you can go to your grave with everything and leave the world nothing? It's up to everybody in here to give back more than you take. That's just what it is. So stop being afraid. Go out and make mistakes and learn from it. Mistakes are your library of life. You go to that library and you can look at all the mistakes you ever made and you can keep counting and say, okay, I won't do that again. I won't do that again. This is how I'm going to remedy this. This is how I'm going to do this next time. It becomes your library. It becomes your master plan. You just got to see things different. Wake up. Stop living in the matrix. Fight back. That's it. It's all about mindset, everybody.
Anyway, I just want to say hi.
Thanks, man. We'll talk soon, bro.
All right, bro.
Powerful. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm heading to my meetup here in Raleigh, but I had to jump on, and I'm so glad I did because everything you said a while ago is as if you were talking to me. So just thank you so much for all that realness. I know, people come on these calls and they give the talk, which I appreciate. Every speaker have their way of delivering, but I just really love the unfiltered style. I love the realness, and everything that you're saying, definitely makes sense. And I'm really glad I was able to hop on. And thank you very much. Yeah,
Appreciate you. Hey, go kill it, man. The world is yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk soon.
Thank you, Paula. Van, you're on live with Mack Loving. What's your question, Van?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, man, that's my Sigma sister. What's going on?
It's great. I think going wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Talk about this. And regarding to notes, people might know what notes different than actually the property, what difference, and what is performance and performance.
What's performing? When it comes down to notes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I pair with people to do stuff like that. That's better than me. That's better than me. Yeah, that's that like the note thing. I like that, but it's like one of the things I'm doing now is like pairing with people who's better than me that focus on just that type of stuff. Matter of fact, Sonny, don't you dibble and dabble with notes?
Yes, I'm a notes investor.
Yeah, Sonny dibble and dabble with notes too. So, and that's what I'm saying again, ladies and gentlemen. Always, I've been in the game for a long time. I know a lot of stuff, but I like this. I love it when other people know more than me because they might see something I'm missing. I'm never thinking that I know everything. I like people to talk to me like I've never done anything. Because it could be one little small piece of the conversation that you've never experienced before, and they just turned you on to something. They just taught you something. So I'm always listening. So, but again, I would definitely pair myself with somebody who know more about notes. I know Sonny, man, that's part of his one of his superpowers. So, Van, we need to get on the line with Sonny and chop it up.
Will do. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll
Reach
set
out.
it up so we can do that.
Thank you.
All right, sis. Okay.
Thank you, Van.
No problem.
Herb, you're on live with Mr. Mack Loving. What's your question, Herb?
What's up, Herb?
Hey, how you doing, Mac?
How you doing, man?
All right, brother. Thanks for putting yourself out there.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I want to know, what was the biggest obstacle to you getting your first deal? What did you have to overcome?
Telling my brain to shut the fuck up.
Shutting the brain down.
Yeah.
All right.
Excuse the language, but yeah, man, a lot of times, man, we think learning how to simplify stuff, that's the key. When you overthinking and put your mind in what the seller may gonna say, and you already playing yourself the moment you do that. One step at a time. Right now you're walking, right?
Amen.
You put one foot in front of the other, right? Just keep
That's
doing
right.
that. Put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to look up and you're going to be at the closing table. That's all you got to do. And if anything you don't know, that's when you call up Jay. That's when you call up me. That's when you call up other people in the group and say, look, I'm at this point. I need help, y'all. Then everybody come together, huddle together, and help you win. That's the good thing about this community, because Jay has opened the doors and said, hey, y'all come on in and let's win together. There's nothing more powerful than, you look at a race, right? And you see somebody go past the finish line, but can you imagine a bunch of people together going past that finish line together? That's more powerful than anything.
Yeah, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's how you got to think in this business. You know what? I'll worry about that bridge when I get to it. Let me lean on one of my brothers or my sisters and say, "Hey, are you good at cold calling? I'm having this. I'm being a little nervous right now. Well, cool. I'll jump on the phone with you. I'll go to the appointment with you. That's what we have to do. We have to click up and make it happen and get each other past it. The first deal is normally the hardest, man, because your brain got to accept the fact that, oh, this can be done. Once that happens, you're gonna take off. Nobody gonna be able to stop you, Herb.
That's it, bro. Looking for proof of concept on that first
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. So you just got to look at it like this. When growing up, you saw that pretty girl walking down the street, man. You got to say to yourself, either I'm gonna say something or I'm gonna regret later not saying something.
I know that's right.
So sometimes you got to say something, even if she tell you to get the hell out of her face. At least you know you checked the box.
That's right. That's right. All
Yeah.
right. So how about have you seen a sub 2 project that went through where you didn't have to come up with any money out of your pocket?
You know what? Actually, yeah, I've been a part of those deals, and I got one going on right now. Right now, one of the things about sub two, you gotta. It's all about.
Well, or creative, either one.
Yeah, you gotta be. See, when it comes down to creative stuff, it's really about getting the seller on board, and you gotta approach. I normally approach it by showing them their options, and you can't be afraid that they might choose an option that don't involve you.
Amen to that.
You see what I'm saying? If it
Yep.
don't work out, on to the next. But a lot of times, if you really vetted the property right and you see that, hey, the other options, like right now, I got a deal. The guy, he wanted like 170 for the property. Excuse me. But he's in the arrears by almost like 180. So even if I was to give him the price he wanted, he still would have to come to the table with money. So I said, well, look, let's just do a sub. Now he a VA guy, so the interest rate is 2.5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's 13 a month with the PITI, 1300 a month with PITI involved, PITI, and then the rent in that area is like 1800 to 2200. Crazy cash flow. And the rehab
There
is
you go.
maybe 15,000 at minimum. So my thing was, okay, man, here's the situation. You're gonna lose the house. We can try to put it on the MLS, but guess what? You accruing interest, you got fees. It's in the trustee's hands, so they're gonna hit you for fees. Then you got attorney and lawyer fees. I mean, attorney and realtor fees. So at the end of the day, you're not gonna walk away with nothing that you're trying to get, and most people are not gonna be willing to buy it because the property is only worth 230. 230, 240. So at the end of the day, I just broke it down to him and showed him his options and said, look, won't I come in, take over the payment, give you some pocket money so you can walk and start your life. And what I'll do is I'll chop it in half and then I'll just give you the remaining. It was 20,000 he want to walk with in cash. I
Right.
said he need a carry back because he need 2 weeks to be out after we do the transfer deed, right? So I said I'll give you five when we transfer the deed, give you another five in 2 weeks after you're out. And then from there, I'll break it down and just pay you and seller finance the last 10 at like 500, either 3 to 500 a month. And that's how we're working it out. So right now, I'm dealing with the bank trying to see if I can lower some of the mortgage so I can have more meat on the bones to not only pay him but also bring in a private money lender for a few dollars and pay them out of that money and still have cash flow. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope I broke that down right. So at the end of the day, you got to look at the step back from the deal and look at it and evaluate how can you make the property pay for itself.
Hey, that's right.
That's how, I got another another way of giving you an example of how to look at it, but I have to tell you that in private.
Okay.
But you got to make it pay for itself because a lot of times, man, your best private money lender is the seller. Because you
Oh,
get
that's a
them to
good point.
finance you.
Yeah.
And then when you guys are struggling to get the deal done, when the bank is giving pullback and that those arrears is constantly doing this, now the anxiety is setting in with the seller. And now you got to go back and say, I know we said 20, but now we got to work something out because it's too much for me. Because you still got to make it worth your time too.
That's
And a
right.
lot of times, by that time, they already at a point where they like, okay, they see what type of money is on the table and what got to be spent for you to get in the game. So that's when you can negotiate and get them to help finance you and stretch it out. A lot of people say, yeah, let's do it in 36 months, I'll pay you off. The way I got it set up is, hey, man, I'll just pay you every month until it's paid off. We ain't even set no month
Ah,
time, no term.
no term.
And, but you have to read the seller.
Yes.
People don't read the seller. They go in with a pre-idea about what they want to do and how they want to say it. You need to sit in with that seller and evaluate the seller, see how bad that they want to get rid of it. Around Christmas time, he called me and literally said, Matt, come get this house right now.
Oh,
That's
that's
how
what you
bad he
want to
wants.
hear.
Perfect motivation. The perfect
Absolute.
seller motivation, but that's all about vetting the right sellers. Never force the deal, man. You force the deal, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I hope that helped, bro. But
Thank you so
here
much,
with me, we
Mac.
can talk more.
Blessings. I will.
Definitely. Thanks a
All
lot, bro.
right. Thank you, guys.
John, you're on live with Mr. Mack Loving. What's your question,
What's up,
John?
John?
Hey, what's up, Mac?
How you
Thanks,
doing,
Sonny.
baby boy? How you feeling?
Uh, uh, pretty good. Been better, but I'm getting somewhere.
Good, good, good.
Thanks. Yeah.
What's on your mind, man? What's on your mind?
So a lot of this has been about for me. You know, I've been in business since I was 20, and I'm
Hmm.
48 now, and been in a lot of different kinds of businesses. And
Hmm.
one thing I've always worked hard on and try to figure out is managing expectations of other people and just expectations and period. Just
Yeah.
what it is. Sometimes on one hand, I don't want to have expectations. I don't know what's going to happen, and you know, I, yeah, buddy, and I just it it's hard. It's hard because like sometimes I feel like you have to say what your expectations, kind of like almost what contracts are about.
Hmm.
Um, on one hand, and on another hand, away from this kid. On another
Right.
hand, the you know expectations are kind of like a seed of working to get let down,
Yeah.
and just like you don't know where people are at or what they can do or what's going on in their lives, like you were kind of saying,
Yeah.
and those expectations lead for yourself too. I mean, what is realistic, and how you just manage all that kind of thing is tricky for me. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
not. So, I mean, how do you work with that? Is it just like, from a moment to moment, expectations for yourself, expectations for other people?
Yeah.
Do you try to lay it out what you hope for them to be able to do, or what
You,
more like what you're depending on them to do?
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you
You,
do, man.
yeah, man. I'm really I'm private by nature. Even though I come from a music industry, party guy type stuff, a lot of people would be surprised to know that I'm really private by nature, and I really care about the people around me, who around me, and I do expect people that I bring into my fold to be the best, man. But I have to lead by an example. I have to lead by example, and I also got to be willing to show people what I'm looking for from them. Because a lot of times you have people on your team, man, that's absolutely they superstars, bro, but they don't know it. And it's up to us to encourage them to let the beast out. And a lot of times we just got to show them, hey, this is what you're great at. I need you to be, this is your superpower. This is what I need from you. Give me this. Don't worry about this. Just give me this. But you have to get up every day and be a self-starter and convince yourself that you're the team lead that you are, and you got to show them by example. And every day, man, just constantly push and figure it out. Life is always going to have speed bumps, bro. So sometimes we just got to slow down and go over them slow and learn from it. Most people will stop and go home and say, I'm done. Entrepreneurs, real estate investors, we're always trying to figure out a way to make it happen. From no way, there's a way. And you just got to have that mentality. Me, I'm a fighter, so I just don't believe in going home. My father told me if I get beat down on the street and come home, don't come home if I lose the fight. So that was his mentality. So I just apply that to life. Like, look, I need everybody to be 100% in their power zone, and that's what I expect from you. Just bring me what you're great at. I don't need no more, no less. And that's why it's important to find the right relationships where people know what they're good at and they okay with being that for you. They want to see you win, but they got to believe in the vision too. I'm big on not dealing with people that just want the money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
definitely.
big on that because people who just want to make money, that's cool. We all want to make money, but you want people that really want to win with you because once you guys close the deal, they thinking like, hey man, where we gonna go eat after this? Where we gonna let's go get a drink. They in it with you. They not like, all right, man, see you next deal. I don't like that type of stuff. To me, that's fake, it's phony, and you really can't build relationships that way. We need to be able to call each other and sometimes not even talk about real estate and sometimes have that power conversation about what we expect from each other. That's it. And if
Yeah.
you gotta write it down, man, and kind of just meditate on it, do that. Man, I got spirals all over the place where I just be writing down ideas and how to look at things and how to be better. It's all about trying to be better every day. That's all I strive for. Because if I'm better, then I can help other people to be better.
I've totally seen that path for myself as far as like, you know, if the more I work on myself, it's really the only thing I have control over almost. It's just like
Absolutely.
what goes on inside and being able to yeah, work on my daily 1% better idea and that is really as I keep having the perseverance for that day
Yeah.
after day,
Yeah.
it's gaining momentum for me. I can feel that from the
Yeah.
day before, and it's a cumulative, and it's working out. And I know I'm going somewhere. I'm getting somewhere fast. There's a bunch of people around me that are with me, and I'm with other people, and it's just
Yeah.
this whole thing that's going on that is exciting as all get out. And yeah, there's some speed bumps. And but yeah, that perseverance of being able to get up every time and it's about what you do when it isn't easy.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I'm digging on that. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
So
and,
I
and,
really
and don't be hard on yourself about it
yeah.
because we all
Yeah,
learn, man.
there's definitely a there's like a gray fine line area of putting a certain kind of pressure on yourself and other people, like that thing I was bringing up about expectation and accountability and how that works out is delicate in a way for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Write it down, man. And people that's close to you, start an accountability group. JJ group is perfect. Reach out to
Yeah,
some of the other brothers and sisters and say, look, y'all want to do something where we can keep each other accountable for what we're supposed to do every day and how we're supposed to do it. And how about we help each other get there? You know what I'm saying? My father used to always say most answers is a 5 minute conversation away. A
most
lot of
answers.
most of your answers is only a 5 minute conversation away.
Wow,
Most of the
cool.
time you have a disagreement with somebody, it can be resolved. You just got to be willing to have a 5 minute conversation. But a lot of us got that, forget it. I ain't messing with him. I ain't doing it. Da, 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 da. I'm mad right now. And it's like a 5 minute conversation would have resolved it. And it's the same thing when you make mistakes in business. It's like sometimes you just got to chill and have that conversation to get through it. It's all about communication and being willing to communicate even when you don't feel like it. That's how you
Yeah.
get through it. That's the difference between entrepreneurs that make it and those that's just playing. They just want to be entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs and real estate investors who really love this and really want to excel and scale, you are willing to be a realist in all parts of the game, even if it means looking in the mirror and telling yourself, yeah, I was wrong. That was a bad decision. That was a bad call. Or I need to call and apologize. Next time I'm not doing it this way. I should have listened. It's all about being real with yourself. That's how you get better.
Yeah. Being real with
That's how you,
everybody, including
yeah.
yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Mm.
Absolutely, bro. And if you need to get pumped up, man, I tell everybody, put a playlist together, some of your favorite upbeat music that's gonna get your bluff and play it in the morning, man, to get you going. Sometimes you gotta have your own soundtrack to life, man. It's all about how you see things, man. Anybody that's doing anything entrepreneur and creative, it's about how you see things and what you perceive things to be. You can look at a problem and turn it into an answer. A mistake can turn into an extra $10,000. Oh, I didn't see
Mm.
that. I didn't know that. I didn't. Oh, damn. Okay, wait a minute. I should have signed it, but I didn't. But okay, so I get an extra 2 grand. I've been a part of situations, man, where I made mistakes and it worked out in my favor. But I learned, like, okay, next time I got to do it like this, like this, like this, and you make yourself better. Nobody knows everything. I don't care who they are, how big they are, how many followers they got. They don't know everything. The game does this all the time, and everybody got different situations that they deal with. So no one person know everything.
Definitely. The one last thing I wanted to ask, if that's okay. We have time for me, just a quick little thing.
Super quick.
It's just there's like a hard balance for me too about being able to negotiate with people who I feel are in a hard spot or less fortunate than I am. I feel super fortunate all the time. I have a lot of gratitude and a lot of times I don't want to do any kind of negotiating. I just want to give it all up. And
Yeah,
because I'd be like, you know what, they need it more than I do. And it's really kept me back in a way from being able to build upon,
yeah,
you know, in a lot of ways because I've just handed it over. And I'm not sure how to find that healthy balance. And I know that's
yeah,
not really a question, but like I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just
yeah.
trying to learn.
Are you working by yourself?
No, I mean, for what do you mean? In which way? I mean, I
Like
just started the real estate thing.
like sometimes, man, again, like I was saying earlier, you might have to have somebody else that negotiates for you for that particular situation. Like right now, like with the sub two deal, I've been negotiating and going back and forth with the guy, and me and him are cool. But based off my experience, I knew that I needed to switch it up. It's like being in the fight. I'm fighting him. I had to switch southpaw on him to switch it up a little bit. So what I did was I brought my operator in, Teresa, who's a female woman, and she's very seasoned in the game. And I said, look, Teresa, I need you to step in and kind of interact with him to soften the situation up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I need you to bring a different type of vibe because it's too much testosterone. I like, matter of fact, put that perfume on that you normally put on that smell really good. And come to the house. And she did it, and guess what? That was like what, last weekend, the weekend for last, everything went way smoother than it did when I'm there. Well, before we left, he even said like the perfume got this whole house smelling different. I just love it. He said that before we left. He was so positive and happy and down. It was like, but I realized that I needed to switch it up a little bit because he's a testosterone dude. I'm a dude that's not finna bend. So we having a conversation, but it's really more like, okay, this guy thing going on. So I said I need to bring her in to soften the situation. Because at the end of the day, it's all about getting to the finish line. You have to think outside the box. And sometimes you got to know when to take yourself out the game. There's plenty of times that Michael Jordan is the best and the greatest of all times and all that. But we all know Scottie Pippen and Paxton have won a lot of games. That Paxton 3-point got us back in the game. Sometimes you got to pass it. No matter if you're the greatest, sometimes Paxton in the corner or Hodges in the corner need that 3-point shot. And that won many a games for us. So you got to know when to pass the ball no matter who you are. And I had to pass
Yeah.
the ball to make it easy so we can get the win.
It's still me though, like I mean in the sense of like if the negotiation goes on like man, like I can't believe we just got so much out of this deal.
Yeah.
Is this really what we needed? Is that are they getting I want only one win-win, win-win things. And
Yeah.
so and what we call that win-win, like sometimes that is an 80-20 or 20-80, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
hard to it's really hard to gauge that sort of thing for me sometimes. But I like what you're saying about needing to pass the ball because
Yeah. Yeah. Just
maybe I
pass.
need to do that more and I'll feel less responsible for
Yeah.
what actually happened, like
Yeah.
but someone else is going to have that judgment. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the opportunity to be able to ask that question again.
Definitely. And
I'm out.
always use this one word, man. When you in that situation, just ask yourself, is it fair? That's it. If it's fair, do the deal. If you don't feel it's fair, maybe you need to sweeten it a little bit. Even if it's saying, hey, we even help you move. So it's less money out their pocket stuff. Make it fair. So if that's so you can go to bed at night knowing that it was worth it and you help somebody at the same time.
Awesome, man. Thank you so
Hope that
much.
helped, bro.
It did.
Great questions, John. Thank you. Richard, you're on live with Mr. Mack Loving. What's your
What's
question,
up,
Richard?
Rich?
Hey, Mac, look, bro. I just gotta tell you, I love your style. I'm an old school fighter myself. It's all about the testosterone. That's one thing I love about this group. I see the many facets. I watch 100 hours of pace, but till I joined JJ, none of it seemed applicable. I made many great friends here, but I love you keeping it real. And that's one thing about it. I took creative finance and sub to automobiles because I didn't have the money at the time. I got recently blessed. I got my disability and all, but the thing is, to me, every setback is a setup. You're gonna learn from it, right? And your net worth is your net worth, right? You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. So once you escalate and you get to that certain level, that's how I came here. I was just hanging around with a bunch of rednecks and coon asses. I live in Louisiana and a little bit of Mississippi. I'm from New Orleans. Can't tell by my accent or nothing. But anyhow, I just love your style. I love you keeping it real. You keep it rocking, and that's what I had to learn. Like you was talking about. Like me, as my children was growing up, I was a disciplinarian. So when it came to trying to ease their feelings, I'm a great dad. I love my kids, but my wife always stepped up. So I totally get the teamwork. But man, I love your style. I got your number. I ain't ready, like I'm stockpiling. I guess I'm being greedy now, but and as far as the monies, you can find people's pain points. Cause like I ain't never invested a dollar yet. But I learned everything from JJ's group, watching Pace, and I made it applicable to Facebook. Now I got my little stack. Now, I'm a little gun shy. You can do without so long. You're hungry so long, you get a little bread. You don't want to share it. You want to sit on it. But, bro, I love your style. Keep it raw. Keep it real. And, for anybody out there, look, you looking at a man that 6 months ago, my wife was bringing home $1,800 a month. I got my disability. I got a $5,000. I put myself out there, but thing is like it is. Make sure it's a fair deal. Make sure you can go to sleep with it at night, but don't let nobody get over on you. Because one thing about it, 99% of people, the reason they in the bind is because they got greedy or they was trying to live a lifestyle they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
So, you got not only can be fair to them, but you got to be, but bro, I love your style. I love you keeping it raw. And when I'll reach out to you, might try to get some coaching. You don't mind. Hey, but I'm going to shut up. I just want to tell you, I love your style. They've had, they always got great guests on here. And I'm going to shut up and let the rest of the people talk. But I appreciate that, bro. Because sometimes, like me, I'm like you. I keep it real. I don't bullshit. This is just, but, That's why I got to bring the tender side in. You got to find that partner that can talk to people when you can't. You set your standard. That's your standard, and you let them negotiate the deal because you might not be the best one to do it.
Exactly.
So I needed to hear that because I'm about to cut my partner out because they just giving away money. I'm like, no, you can give away. You can be compassionate. You can do what you do. We're all about fair deal, but when it starts cutting into the profit margin too much, you got to sit down and let me take over.
Mm-hmm.
So but then there's time when it's opposite. I need to shut up and just take the loss and make the fair deal. So brother, I love it. I appreciate it. Appreciate you much. I'm gonna shut up and let you pass it on, Mr. Sonny. I'm glad to see you again, Sonny. I've been watching your videos. One day I might make one, but with this accent, I doubt it.
Definitely start,
thing,
man. Do your thing, man.
Thing.
People will dig your own flavor, man.
Yep.
We all have our own vibe. Thank you, Richard. Naomi, you are on live with Mr. Mack Loving. What's your question?
Hey.
First of all, Mac, I just want to say thank you so much for blessing me with that Mac attack. Very much needed. I'm in the middle of a really painful lesson right now, making the long 19-hour drive back home from Texas to Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
You set up a catalog of lessons learned, and I was just curious, what's like the most memorable lesson for you?
Relationships matter. I had a situation where it was an elderly lady who she had a property that she really needed to get rid of, and she had no money. And getting rid of that property, pretty much she was bleeding because she was paying taxes and stuff. And she needed to sell that property so she can have money to live. And she was elderly. It wasn't my deal. It was actually a guy I knew that had the deal. And long story short, he really didn't want to do much with it because after he did his calculations, he was only going to make like $1,500 as an assignment fee. And he was just telling me about it, and he was like, "Man, I ain't gonna waste my time." I'm like, "Well, you really need to go ahead and help her out, because don't forget, we help people too. Making money is a byproduct of it." And he was like, "No, man." He's like, "I just don't have the time." He's like, "Man, matter of fact, I ain't even gonna trip. You can help her out, and you don't have to give me anything. Just help her out if you want to do it or whatever." And I was like, "All right, cool. I'll give her a call." Gave her a call, talked to her. She was really desperate, running out of time, and I helped her sell the property. And I didn't get $1,500. I actually got $777. But she was so grateful. The woman was just so grateful. She had money she can live off of, and she was just so grateful. Like for the next 6 months, she just told people about me. And just off of referrals, I made $77,000.
That's an amazing story. And that really is a great reframing, and it's just doing something that is the right thing. You are going to reap the benefits tenfold. Thank you for that beautiful example.
Yep. No problem. It's my 7 story, because 7 is one of my favorite numbers. And I got $77,000 in 6 months just off of referrals. And that wouldn't have happened if I just didn't help her. So we have to be willing to try to help people too. That's the reward. A lot of times you don't even know that's a quiet investment that's waiting to blossom down the line.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to make money, but don't make it all about the money. Connect with people, help people, especially elderly people in bad situations. Like the sub 2 situation I got right now, he's terrified of being homeless. He's terrified of being put out on the street. So you got a lot of people that's like that. So we have to address that and not be just thinking about how much money we can make, because that's a scary feeling. So
Amen. You got to have a mission. And my mission right now is affordable housing and affordable healing.
There you go. And it'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying? I hope that story helped.
It did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Naomi. Raphael, you're on live with Mack Loving. What's your question?
That's my boy, Ralph.
What up, homie?
What's
Hey,
up,
thank
man?
you so much for this. Thank you for your time. And this is actually my favorite meeting so far, honestly. I'm gonna have to go back to YouTube, later when it's ready and really watch it again. I have a question for you on the disposition.
Yeah.
When the property it's 99% ready to obviously kind of list it on the market, do you still wholesale it to a fix and flipper, or do you just go and take it to the finish line, wholesaling it?
You know, I look at each property, every property will tell you what it needs. It's just like, you know, when you fellas, you know how it is when you first meet a woman and you're dating her, you find out what she likes so you can make her happy. Ladies, you meet a guy, you want to find out what type of food he likes so you can cook it. So it's the same thing. You got to look at this property and figure out what it needs. What is it saying that it wants? Every deal ain't a wholesale deal, but you can sometimes sell your position. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So if it's like 99% ready, you can say to yourself, okay, well, let me figure out what is there a mortgage on the property?
Yeah, there is.
Is it how is you know what the interest rate is?
No, I don't.
I would like me normally I will find out I'm even at wholesale deals, I'm always looking if it got a mortgage. What's the insurance? I mean, what's the taxes on the property? How long the mortgage? What the interest rate is, and how much they paying every month? Because sometimes you can say, "Well, I want to wholesale this deal," but then you look at it and be like, "Wait a minute, that interest rate is low. I need to be trying to hold this deal, or I need to turn this into a sub two deal and trade my position in that sub two deal, wholesale my position in the sub two deal."
Okay.
So sometimes it's not just, oh, the property is distressed and I'm just selling the property that's vacant or distressed. Sometimes you got to look at those numbers and say, well, there's a lot of people that like buying sub twos and creative finance stuff. I could just put a fee on it and sell my position. Or I can just reach out to, you know, the wonderful ladies and gentlemen in JJ's mastermind group and find out if anybody will want to PML with me to help me get this deal and see if I can convince the seller to give it to me seller finance or sub two or something like well wrap type of deal. So I would
Okay.
always look at the whole deal, even wholesale deals, man. And if there's no mortgage on
Yeah.
there, if they're just seller finance, hey, what if I give you a down payment and a little bit of money every month? See if they go for it. Maybe you can
Cool.
come up with the money and add it to your portfolio or sell your position to someone else who want to buy something like that.
Perfect. I got another question for you. On the disposition, if you're wholesaling, connecting with hedge funds,
Mhm.
how do you connect with them?
Connecting with hedge funds is kind of is hard. But you know, nowadays with social media and I mean with the softwares out there, you man, I would just find somebody that's good at scrubbing hedge funds information and getting a list. And then I just reach out and call them, man, or connect to somebody in the JJ's group, like this one, JJ's Mastermind. See if anybody know anybody that I'm trying to remember. Actually, it's someone in this group that that deals with hedge funds.
Okay.
I got to think about it because yeah, they was in JJ's group. Yeah, so yeah, we
Awesome.
need to talk and figure that out. But yeah, man, there's ways to get scrub lists, get people to find that information, and then you can cold call them as well. Find out who's in charge of they investment part of the game. You know, hedge funds is a little tricky, but there's ways to do it. You just got to get that list first, and then you got to start targeting. Because really, all they care about is it being they can make some money. Now the trick about hedge funds too, sometimes man they'll be haters on that assignment fee. That's the
Correct.
thing. You know, the bigger your assignment fee, it can become a problem. A lot of hedge funds don't want to pay that assignment fee unless you have a great relationship with the person that's willing and dealing in between you and the hedge fund.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we need to talk about that off you know, we need to do a call or something like that, and I try to figure out who that was that handles hedge fund stuff in the group. But I know that they're in JJ's mastermind.
You're freaking awesome, man. Thank you so much.
You're wonderful, man. I see you outside, man. This dude be door knocking like crazy, y'all. See, if you're not a door knocker, now you need to reach out to Ralph and say, "Yo, Ralph, let's connect, man." Because Ralph he ain't scared, man. I seen him with a bucket of chicken eating and knocking on the door at the same time. I'm just messing with you, man. You the best, man. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Rafael. Mac, if people want to connect with you, what is the best way? Is it your MySpace page or what is the best way?
It's Black Planet and eHarmony. No, I'm just messing with you. You can reach out to me on Instagram at I am Mack Love. You can also reach out to me on Facebook as Mack Loving. You can also reach out my website. I mean, not my web, but my YouTube is I am Mack Love as well. I got videos, motivational videos. It's still a new channel, but you guys can go and show me some love and like the videos. And you can also find me chilling in JJ's Mastermind group as well, man. And you guys can reach out to me, man, and we can chop it up and let's do some deals. The year is young. It's 2025. It's time for us to put a list together. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting a list together with everybody's name on there. And one of my goals is to do a deal with everyone. So make money with somebody in some way or help somebody get to the finish line in some way. So that's my 2025 goal.
And you've touched on this a number of times throughout this call. How important is it for a new real estate investor to join a group like JJ's?
It's very important, man, because you got people from different walks of life and everybody got their own journey. So this is a library of information that you can tap into. And it's best to come in, make friends, and have lifelong friends that got so much information and real life examples that they can share with you and stop you from making mistakes or help you scale to the next level. And you can do the same to them, the same for them. So this is the perfect group, man. JJ is really, I got to give you credit, Jay, man. The fact that you put this together and you're not trying to put up a paywall on people and things like that. You're allowing people to come in and get the help they need and connect with people. Because we all had that moment when we first started. And we all know how it feels when you're trying to figure out a way and you just need somebody to talk to. So JJ has provided that space for everyone to feel comfortable and safe. And no matter what you're dealing with, you accept it for who you are here. So that's a great situation. Plus, I got a connection with JJ because he, my that's my nickname. My family called me JJ.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
And so if you're here live, we're about to do live networking together. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to click like and leave a comment about a takeaway you got from the one and only Mr. Mack Loving. And thank you so much for watching Flipside Up with JJ. We'll see you soon in the world of virtual networking. Bye, guys.
Get your money. Take care, y'all.